Meeting order. This is 8:30. Meeting Tuesday morning, June the 6th, 2023, Ware County Commission. Let me do a roll call. Mr. Burson.
Present.
Mr. Pope.
Present.
Mr. Lucas.
Here.
Mr. Barnes.
Present.
Everybody present. All right. I'm gonna ask Mr. Barnes, Mr. Burris, if he would lead us in prayer.
Father, we thank you, Lord, for this day that you've made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. We thank you, O God, for life, health, and strength. And we pray, God, you will bless us as we deliberate the business of this county. We pray, God, you will give us the right decision to make. Let us give thought and have keep you in mind, O God. We thank and praise you for our country, O God. We thank and praise you for each and every one. We thank you for your Son, Jesus, dying for our sins. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. We need to approve the agenda this morning.
Mr. Chairman, I make the motion to approve the agenda that is set forth in front of us.
Okay, you got a motion?
I second it.
You got a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Now, this is this meeting, call meeting for the roads, for the possible T-Splosh money that we could receive if it's voted back in again. And I guess we need to, what we're going to do is, it's concerning the T-Splosh project list of the roads and the stuff that we could possibly, if the money is available and we do get it, we can, how we want to spend it. And what is it? Is anybody got any discussion on what, or any? Scott, would you explain to us a little bit about how it really, this arrive, how it works?
Yes, sir.
Could you please?
Basically, what each and every local government does is they're allocated a certain portion of the collections of the regional T-Splosh, or the TIA Act. And what each county and city has to do is submit a budget based on their proposed allocation of those funds. And once that each and every local government submits their projects, shortly thereafter, each local government has to do a presentation to the executive board to review the projects and get more information from the projects that's being submitted. It gives them a chance to ask questions and such. And that's a board of 5 elected officials, chief elected officials in various counties and cities. And once that's submitted, then the referendum is drafted for it to go out for a vote to all 18 counties. And then that referendum will include each and every one of those projects for each local government. And then the majority vote of all 18 counties will either pass it or fail. And that's basically how that happens. To kind of give you an idea of some of the scheduling, all local governments have to have their projects in primarily as soon as possible, but the portal closes on July the 14th, meaning everything's done online. It used to be, I don't know if we submitted them online last time, but we had to submit them, and that's kind of the time they turn the switch off. So we have to get it there just as quick as possible, because that allows DOT more time to look at them, check our estimates and so forth, and then that gives us time, if so, to make some modifications and at that point. So that's in a nutshell what has to happen from this point forward. But it will go out for a vote again to all 18 counties.
Right.
And,
That'll be when?
that's next May.
Next May?
They're scheduling it for next May, and then if it fails in May, that gives them time to put it on the November ballot to go back out again. And there could be some modifications between, if it fails in May, it could be some modifications to the project list, so forth, and then put it back out in November if it fails in May. It was a fairly close vote last time. I don't remember exactly. Brandon might remember, but it wasn't an overwhelming yes. I'll say it that way. So
is this gonna put us back up to 9?
no, sir.
No.
It will leave us at 8. We're in it now.
Okay.
Just
The
replace it.
the SPOS collections start next month, first next month, and so that will move us to 8. And then if this passes again, it'll keep us at 8.
Just
If it
keep it-
fails
keep it
in
7.
May and also again in November, we'll drop down to 7 at that point.
Okay.
Yeah, but and I'll mention this because I've had these questions from others. If the regional T-SPLOS fails, I don't know about the legislation, I'll need to check that, but I think the counties would still be able to go out for a single county T-SPLOS if they have a SPLOS in effect at the time they do it. You can't, that was the way the legislation was written. I'm not so certain that that single county totally went away. It may have, I don't remember, but that would be something as a possibility if it fails.
You know,
I think if it fails, I think you'll have more counties, if the legislation's still not there, more counties going back out to try to get the state to pass a single county T-SPLOS again.
I think we're gonna have to be real heavy in putting that out there because I would have been called by 3 business owners in the last month. What we talked about before, you know, our SPLOST that we just passed, that the citizens just passed, was supposed to start. The loss ended in April, new one starting in May. And they said that Mr. Carlos sent an email up to the right department. There's actually supposed to be 2 departments he was supposed to email. And he failed to mail it to the second one or just didn't know.
I asked about that. I thought there would be more coordination between the state departments.
And him.
That if you turn those things into the Secretary of State's office, if there was any vote pertaining to a tax, that information, whether it failed or passed, should have been transmitted over to DOR for them to be aware of it. But from what I was told,
It wasn't.
there's no coordination at the state level and from that regard. It always has to fall back to the local folks.
And you know who of course, they're pushing back on us, and now the business owners are pushing up on us.
Yeah.
Because they're getting fines.
Yeah.
They're collecting 8 cents right now, and we're at 7 right now.
Yeah.
Because he didn't get it in on time. He got it to one, but not the other one.
When do they project that that'll be straightened out?
July 1st now. It's too
July
late,
1st?
because it's gotta start by quarter. And they
Yeah,
didn't have-
that was the other thing, is they can't start in mid-quarter.
They can't start
It has to
mid-quarter.
start at the beginning of a quarter.
Right.
But it'll still go for the same,
Same
time
length.
period. The
Yeah.
same, which in a way could be a
Benefit us.
benefit, because as the economy starts to pick back up, that gives you more
Right.
time on the back end
To
to
collect.
collect. Hopefully, some of the inflation will start to lessen, and then could be better off by offsetting it even by those 2 months.
Right.
So basically, we won't be losing any collection time for 3 or 4 months. We won't lose that, it'll basically just be put on the back end of it.
That's correct,
Right.
yes, sir. And like I said, you could be a benefit because hopefully the economy will get better, and it is improving, and then that way it gives you more time to collect it, maybe when things get better from an economy standpoint.
Yeah, and Scott, you alluded to about the T-SPLOS in the Singer County, which was really the desires of the county to begin with, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
Instead
Yes.
of this regional thing, because
Yes.
we will really get more bang for our buck if we have Singer County
Yeah.
versus being a
That's
regional.
right, yes. Well, the chairman and I were talking about that just before the meeting, is
Yeah.
there's not as many restrictions, when
Right.
you have a single county. Whereas with the regional, everything is based on their guidelines and their restrictions, and then also 30% of those funds have to go into the state network highway of some sort, to benefit the state network highway.
And then-
With single county, it's up to the commission on where those funds are applied and how they're applied.
And also in conjunction with that, with the regional, as I understand it, just like now, we have to submit these projects, but it's got to go before a board. And that
Correct.
board has to decide, they really have the last say-so, and
Right.
Yeah.
we don't have a seat at the table.
That's correct. And as the chairman and I were talking earlier, one of the case points on Ware County, considering to try to stop it was, you have citizens in other counties voting for a tax in your county.
Yeah.
So if Ware County voted no, like they did the first time,
Right.
then the yeses went out. So that means the voters in another county imposed the tax on you when the county of Ware County voted it down.
Right.
And that was really the biggest part of, the case of trying to stop it, to say that's unconstitutional.
Yeah.
If you live in another county, you shouldn't be able to impose a tax
On
on
somebody else.
another county just by a majority vote of the region.
Right.
But that was the biggest thing. And the other thing too was, as we were saying, was restrictions with DOT approving projects that you put together for a tax that you're paying. And
If
it's a sales tax. What's that?
If the vote is taken and some counties vote yes, some counties no, if there's more yeses than noes, the no counties still get their part if they're part of the program.
That is correct, yeah.
I mean, if you vote no and it passes, you
Right.
don't get kicked aside.
No,
You
that's
still
true, yeah,
get-
it
Right.
gets, that tax is imposed in all
Right.
18 counties if there's more yeses.
Right.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to pass, then we got kicked aside on the first go-around, that
Big time.
really.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We didn't get anything, but we paid it.
We paid it, that's correct.
I got a question, Scott.
Mhm.
The Regional T-Splosh, they're saying we will be getting 23,246,000.
Where's that at now? Are you reading that, sir?
On the new T-Splosh fund, what's the amount that we'll be getting?
We're
On-
25.
There's a sheet that looks like this, with the border across the top. On the back page, you'll see that they've, estimated an allocation of $25,014,053 for Ware County.
Okay.
Ware County Board of Commissioners.
All
And then
right.
the city of Waycross would get, 15,632.
The regular local T-Splosh, what kind of money comparison to two?
Comparison, I think it's around 30 million, because normally that's split with the city of Waycross. And, based on the estimate, I think Brandon did an estimate, it was around 30 million for just Ware County. But, here again, you're in control of where you want to spend that money. That's kinda how I look at it from that standpoint.
So what, we got 3 donor counties?
4.
4?
You got Lowndes, Ware, Tift, and Coffee. And if you look at this sheet here, the one that I've got highlighted, you'll see that Ware County is actually third in collections. It's Lowndes, and then Tift, and then Ware. And then Coffee is right after Ware. And that's through the end of March, two months ago. 3 months ago.
Define donor county.
A donor county is a county with the economic base that generates the most money. And based on how they collected it from that standpoint, larger in population, larger in collections.
We collect more than we get back from the program.
Yes, sure do.
That's the donor.
That's the donor.
We donate more
Yeah.
to the program
That's
than we get
correct.
back.
Yep.
And you know,
The smaller counties are really the beneficiaries
Right.
of this whole thing.
and you know what's really kind of, I guess ironic is the right word, and I won't call the county's name out, but the one that's really contributed, almost like the least, have a seat at the table. And we don't even have one, and you know, as those saying, if you're not at the table, then you're on the menu, and look like we on the menu. You know,
There's a lot of truth to that.
yeah,
There
but,
really is.
I mean, it look like it's kind of,
And, you know,
convoluted.
you've got that voice on the executive board of smaller counties
Yeah.
that are picking and choosing
that's what I'm talking about.
what like Ware County gets for projects.
Yeah.
So there's some definite flaws to the whole system.
They got more power.
Others, if they were truthful, they would say the same thing. And that was the whole beat the first time. And we were told, by multiple sources, if Ware County passed that single county T-Splosh, the one that just expired, if that passed, it shuts down the whole regional process.
But they changed it.
Yep. Because they knew that there was a good possibility of Ware County passing it. And so that really threw a wrench in the whole thing. And that's some of the friction with DOT.
Yep.
Okay.
So if we collect 31, how much we getting?
Scott, do we have a slide to show this inner perimeter? That's been a long-term thing.
We don't, it's been designed, it was designed, I think, in the 70s, wasn't that right, Michael? Somewhere in the 70s, mid to late 70s, I think?
We don't have a slide to put up here?
No, sir, because it's all on paper form. We don't have any electronic files for
Yeah.
that design.
Can we pull it up?
Sir?
Can we pull it up on the map, kind of
Well, you
rough
can,
estimate
you
where
can
we
pull it
go?
up on a map. I don't know, Spencer, is that on your computer or someone else's?
It's back yonder.
Oh, okay. That might help, that way we can see it.
Brooke knows where it's good.
Might have to dim the lights a little bit, might help. I don't know if that might interfere with the.
How you doing?
Yeah.
So how do they go about picking who's
Yeah, it's gotta be Dan Hempel's son right there, ain't it?
Yeah, I don't know, sitting on, if you get,
That's Jacob.
when you're sitting on that board, what is it, like, I guess 5 or 6 members? How do they go about picking them, there's a thing, issue out the money?
Well, one of his boys been got married.
That's what I'm trying to find out.
We get those.
Do any of them have a list of
They
the,
all right.
on the executive board? Do any of y'all have a list of the
No,
ones that
that's
were
what I'm
picked on
trying to
it?
find out, how did they even go about
They
picking?
got a list,
You
That
talking
was
about
a
where they
list.
selected the other day?
yeah. You got the
Brandon.
name, we had a copy of it.
This who's got the power.
How long they?
Brandon, do you have a copy of that list of the guys that was picked for
Yeah,
the
every 2 years
executive
they
board?
Rotate or vote on.
Do you have
Once
a
you own
copy
it,
of the ones that was picked for the executive board? They sent it, you know. It was emailed. Do you have a copy of
Time I had that little,
it? Yeah, see if you can find that. The ones that were elected.
Yeah, how often they do it?
There you go. There's extra copies.
It won't let us draw a line there, but that's where it is talking.
PC games, no, we don't want that.
Let's make some money, make money.
it always,
So that's what they do back there.
Vote on it, pop them on it. Well, that'd be
it's
bad.
always got pop-ups.
Man, they had it up on the map.
They rolled an ace and got a queen.
Y'all are had it.
You'll have to tell her which one to draw and get it.
All you do is go over and hit your thing, or sort of zoom in on it. Damn, I ain't the computer, it's figure that out. They're gonna show a route, that perimeter road, would go.
They just quickly,
That was the one I had.
Well, shoot.
I had a copy of it.
Can y'all go back to where we was at on Google Map? We can figure that out off of it.
Y'all had it up there one time. You had it up there at first. Michael Brooks will get it going. There you go.
So this is what we're trying to do, we keep trying to get on Google Earth so we can draw you a line for that perimeter.
Okay.
Google Maps will let us do that.
Mark Wood is getting from right here,
Yeah. So
all the way to
we
right
wanna
here.
draw you a line across it so you can see
You'd have a straight shot from the Blackshear Highway all the way through, cut across here, Blackshear Avenue all the way to Augusta Avenue. Says traffic covered like this right through here.
And from Augusta down to the college.
Right.
From Pinehurst to the college. And this has been floating around for a number of years. Scott and I had it 30 years ago, and it was designed before that.
It was on the original single county T-Splosh list and was
Yep.
removed.
So it's not an unknown product.
Well, you get on Pinehurst, you just keep going.
Right.
I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah. Sit right over Warren Drive.
The sign that go on back this way, that's just what it is. There's no home there.
Yeah. That'll work.
I mean, that'd be used for vehicles, not big trucks or anything like that. It wouldn't be a truck route, it'd be for vehicles.
Local traffic.
Yes.
So that part right at the, between that Expression hair salon, back this way, that area right there, there's no homes,
You
anything?
talking about right through here?
Back this way, right there,
There,
right in
right
there.
there.
Yeah, you got a few houses,
Right in there.
right in here. You got a few houses right in there that have to be bought. There's several of them vacant too.
And then come in at Morningside, take those houses.
it. It was later, if you want to use it.
You have a lot of traffic going back and across that way?
Top left. Top left, yeah.
But
We do.
Right there, right there.
Right through there, yeah.
So right now they having, when they get there, they got to stop and come back
Right, they have to
down.
come right through here, and like that, and then back like that, and then like that.
Yeah.
That'd just be a straight shot.
If we're gonna put a bridge over here,
Be nice, wouldn't it?
that's about what you'd have
Don't
to do.
have an overpass over that one
Yeah.
side.
You'd have to if you do it now. You won't pick up that traffic.
So where the railroad running over there?
Railroad runs right there, side of it, it's across the
Railroad.
highway and the railroad. Yeah.
Cause you got lots of traffic comes from Pierce County that works in Industrial Park. I mean, you can go out there early in the morning, I mean, it's backed up all the way through there.
pull traffic from out of downtown.
Right.
Yeah.
You have quite a few folks who live in Pierce County that work in industrial park, and that's how they go to get around the traffic, is through that area there to work their way back north.
that's gonna be going right through Wakeona area.
No,
If they come off
that's
of,
Blackshear Avenue right there.
Just not
Wakeona's way on back up yonder.
that's the route they're going now.
Huh?
Yeah, they come through the backside of Sunnyside, go all the way down, is it Darling,
No,
until they,
they go down Sunnyside, hit Blackshear Avenue right here, where old Flash Food used to sit right there years ago. Come all the way down through there.
they come, I'm telling you, they come down Wakeona.
Both ways.
You get
All
caught
the
over
way
there.
all the way
by-
over there, Wakeona.
That's the way, they come home that way when they leave the prison industrial park, and they go that way. Nobody's taking
Prison
it.
traffic, I'm talking about the trailer plants and stuff like that, they use
They all- they-
Blackshear Avenue, Cherokee,
They all turning left right there on Wakeona because they scared by the time they hit the railroad tracks down there, the double tracks, they're gonna be a train. I bet half the people that work at Industrial Park come down Wakeona every day. Every day. Even the weekend. Promise you.
Put up a toll road on that.
Yeah.
Put a toll booth on Waconia.
Gonna need one. Hey, we can make some money. We make the county more money than they take in taxes.
Okay.
Wakeona is a very narrow road,
Very.
and if you.
Well, we widened it, what,
If you-
3 or 4 years ago, didn't we widen it a little bit?
It's been a few years ago, I think maybe 6 or 7 years ago, I believe.
We've had 2 brick mailboxes toward.
Just very narrow.
Yeah.
But if something like this were to be done, then you'd probably have the majority of that traffic taken
Fall over there.
Blackshear.
Yeah.
You know, just for that reason, because it's a better road, you know,
Yeah.
you feel more comfortable driving on it.
That would be a lot better.
If you're gonna do something like that, though, you need to go ahead and make it a 4-lane road. You know, take traffic over, build it off of one side of it. Build a road if you're gonna build one, if you ain't, they ain't need to patch it up. That just makes another rat hole like we got already. If we're gonna do it, need to build a new road across there.
Only thing is, you got 3 manholes on Blackshear Avenue that's about 2 feet out of the ground,
Yeah.
but they're on the north side of Blackshear Avenue. And you got another side on the south end of
This would be
Blackshear
in
that
the
widen
existing
anything.
right of way. Oh, this would be in the existing right of way.
Oh, it's right here.
Final list, huh?
Asked for them to email me a copy of it. He said we should get it today.
Okay. Yeah, I know we had one over there, but we didn't bring a copy of it.
In a parameter.
Over there. These were the ones that were on the executive board.
Joe Pritchard, Bucky Hay, you were there.
You wasn't over there.
They did that study with DOT. and
Brandon, y'all don't know how much
Place
road
that
right of
they
way
want.
we've got
Biggest
down
need
Blackshear Avenue, do you? How wide it is? Roughly.
It's even more than we did now, is it?
Yeah.
Brooks thinks it's 50 or 60. 50 or 60.
Roads wide, that wide?
Right away. He thinks it's 50 or 60 feet right in there.
Probably is. So how much would you need if you done like curb and gutter, 4-lane all the way through there? Do you have enough right of way to do that?
4 lanes, curb and gutter.
Instead of digging ditches on each side of the 4-lane road, but curb and gutter.
Probably another 10 feet.
We need 80 foot, imagine.
Curb and gutter?
I think you're right, Chairman. I think you take at least 80.
80, because you gotta have 5 lanes. If you go with 4 lanes, you gotta have 5. You gotta have a turn lane in the center. It takes 5 lanes to build a 4-lane road. Right?
Yes, sir.
You gotta have a center turn lane.
And I think on Hatcher Point Road, they might have went with 100 foot right away.
Yeah.
And that's kind of an urban section with curb and gutter like you're talking about.
Right.
You wouldn't have enough land in between them houses on,
There's not gonna
Take-
be.
especially this part right here. Right in here, the houses are all up close together. Right through there, it's right there.
That corner.
I mean, they're close, the houses are close together right there.
You know,
We
'cause
just
they be
probably have to buy one side of it.
Yeah. And people be stopping. That's why the backup, so back up out to the road.
I know.
Do what now?
That first couple of blocks right there off of
Right.
Sunnyside will be the hot section, I would think. Once you get where the old golf course was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's nothing on
right.
Yeah.
that'll, you got that park down there, fire station side.
If they got back up around Blackshear and State, it gets kind of congested right in there a little bit, but you got a bunch of road up houses through there.
They get many houses right through here.
I think there's 5 or 6 that would have to be
You'd have to
on
buy
up.
that property.
Okay, that's what fact gonna hit the cloud, you start telling people, talking about buying their houses out and all that.
Yeah.
Somebody might be ready to sell.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, high price.
and that house gonna be valuable then, man.
It just went up, didn't it?
Yeah.
Real estate just went up. Okay. That's just a thought, I guess.
So how much money we gonna set aside for this project if we decide to do it, Scott?
The last time we budgeted this, and I'm not sure where those estimates came from, the whole thing was around 4 million. And that was from start to finish. And I know that was in 17, I think, and I'm not sure if we used a budget that DOT did then or not. But you're probably talking somewhere around 5 to 6 million right now, I would imagine.
That liable
Price
to
of
be,
asphalt and such going
and that
up.
liable to be 10 years from now
It could
before
be a long
the
time.
money be here to do it with. So that'd be a long-term project.
Yes, sir. You'd almost want to try to do it in phases in a way. And go after the initial part of the hardest part being this sooner and get that part done and then start working your way through.
Buy out the vacant property first.
Yep.
Go ahead and
Get
get
that
it.
get that part, that segment right there constructed, only because as time progresses, prices keep going up. You can go ahead and knock that part out with the real estate prices and then start trying to work on the other part. Kind of kick it off, so to speak. That design's been out there for a very long time. And I think it was mentioned in the plan, wasn't it, Brandon? I can't remember if it was or not, but.
I'm sorry, I just came back from my office.
No, I was talking about the inner perimeter there, where it connects, Blackshear Avenue to Pinehurst.
No, the ABC Avenue project is in the
That's right.
study.
Mhm.
The inner perimeter thing was something the DOT had been working on in the past. I don't think it was in the study, but it's been a while since I've read it. I have to go back through there and read it again.
We're talking about, the concept was to improve traffic flow in that area using the existing right-of-way. Improve Blackshear Avenue all the way around
Yes, sir.
in the existing right-of-way so they don't disturb that residential area.
Yes, sir, and that was kind of what was talked about on Single County, is that really it was the biggest construction part was tying Pinehurst to Blackshear Avenue.
Right.
And then the rest of it was, if it needed to be, the asphalt needed to be widen the asphalt a little bit,
Right.
restripe, and make it where it's an easier, cleaner travel.
Improve the existing,
Yes, sir. Yeah, nothing,
Right.
like you said, we're in those houses, not to, because there'll be quite a few as you go down, start on Blackshear Avenue. At least probably Darling, I think.
yeah, all the way.
Would DOT be with us on that? I mean, are they,
I would think so, because now you're pulling folks off of Plant Avenue coming out of Pierce County
right,
and taking them a route where they can get and bypass that, because, I mean, if there's trains, there's probably more of them now going around all that way if they're thinking that these crossings here are gonna be blocked.
is there, Brandon, I'd like to ask you one thing. If you do something like that, could you ask for turning lanes at intersections to the right, maybe 300, 200 foot? And could that be put in it? I mean, because if you come up to a four-way or a red light, then everybody's wanting to go straight and some wanting to turn, and he can't turn because he got to wait till he gets up there to just turn.
Yes, sir, that was one of the things in the transportation study, was recommendations on the turn lanes, and because of what it's able to do with the flow of traffic to keep everybody moving, get those people out of the way, off to the side. That's one of the big recommendations that came out of that old transportation study. And I
Right.
think a lot of those turn lane intersection improvement projects were completed by the DOT, have been done since that, but that would definitely be something they would be in favor of. That's something highly recommend, and it's very prevalent throughout that study.
Especially
Right.
out there at Dorothy Street and Blackshear Avenue where you got the school at.
Yes, sir.
Several of them there needs to be backed up and put a turning lane both directions.
Yes, sir.
Even a third one in some of them, you know, where you
Yes,
go
sir.
to left or right.
We've talked about that, you know, we mentioned it with some of these roads in town.
Right.
Where that clogs the whole passage of traffic up, people waiting to turn left or right, and then especially like the underpass down here and
The
some
right
other
there, the
places.
underpass is a.
Knight Avenue has several bad areas that need an additional turn lane, and Plant Avenue as well.
Yeah. That would be some of the things that need to be thought of and put in the plan if you're gonna do it.
Yes.
We need to think about that a lot, because, we already know what them jams are like. When you get down there, you can't turn, you got to wait in line. Okay.
So we're gonna put this on our list? T-Splosh list?
Do we need to move that one up to, on the list?
The project there that we're talking about, yes, sir.
On the
I mean,
target
it might
list,
be,
probably-
you know, it's one of those things, I think, you know, as Brandon always says, you know, it's like eating an elephant. You always want to take one bite at a time, and I think that one segment there, if there's a way of getting that in and getting it done,
Yeah.
then that would open you up for down the road that you could, you know, possibly use SPOS funds or regional SPOS funds and kind of continue it on.
If we put it on the regional, then it would be on the list. See, we do have a list over here, I think. Like dirt road paving would be under. We'll probably add it to the top of the list. Just call it the inner perimeter?
Yes, sir.
Is that what, Jerry, is that what you think?
We already
The
got
inner,
it here.
huh?
It's at the top,
On the top.
big sheet. Yes, sir.
This other one, inner perimeter, Blackshear Avenue. Okay, that's on.
You got 19 million on that, so what is the big? Gene,
No, that's the,
on this inner perimeter road,
That's a
Blackshear,
perimeter
you
road
got
there.
$19 million.
US 84, Blackshear Highway.
Yes, if we were to make this inner perimeter road a four-lane road, we used some of the GDOT programming numbers, it's $3.1 million per mile for construction. I think a little bit of confusion about some of these numbers, and I apologize, maybe should have made it a little clearer. I think what we asked for before, or we had in our draft list before, was about $4 million to prep for the construction of the project, which would have meant the county would have had it engineered, got the right of way, and relocated utilities in hopes that we would get some more funds to actually construct it. So really to put this in, if we do the whole thing, that 5 miles from Pinehurst to 82, then I think our number is looking more like that $20 million category to try to build that.
That's for a 4-lane road.
Yes, sir.
But if we go with the route that we got now, just improve the 2-lane we've got now, be heck, I mean,
It'd be somewhat cheaper.
it'd be lots cheaper.
I don't know if it would, I mean, it'd probably be more than half as much, but I don't know. We didn't have a programming number for that, in our options to plug some of these numbers in to make sure that we were following what the DOT uses for their programming. So we might could ask somebody, but every once in a while you will need a turn lane, and I don't know how you work that. That would be part of the design. And I think that's why we were trying to bite off, like you're talking about eating an elephant one bite at a time, is trying to bite off what we could afford to do. And it's a pretty big investment for no immediate return. So I'm just not sure if I stuck that one in there, and that was about the best information we had to work with at the time.
So the 19 million, that's in there, theoretically covers regardless of what we do, end up doing. I mean, there's enough there to 2, 4, whatever.
Yeah, according to the DOT numbers, that
Right,
should work.
Right, the best
course.
guess estimate.
Yes, sir.
If you decide to 4-lane all the way through. Isn't that
Correct.
where this is coming from?
Right. 2-lane would be
But as
less.
Commissioner was saying, I mean, my suggestion would be, so that way we get it started, is work on that segment there where you connect the two.
Right,
And then if nothing else, you might want
at
to,
least have that.
correct, right. And if you need to make some improvements like resurfacing or something along the lines of connecting them, that way.
In other words, let's go ahead and try to do this part right here. Wherever it's at.
Yeah, that's it,
Right where
right.
you are.
Yes, sir.
Phase 1. Yeah.
That's gonna be,
Tie the two roads together.
that's gonna be the thickest part of the project, so to speak.
But when you get to Blackshear Avenue around there and then you get back to the railroad track again,
Right.
then you're gonna stop again.
Mm-hmm,
So, I mean, you know,
yeah,
that really, you either got to put a bridge on both sides of it or you ain't done nothing. I mean, why you wanna run up to a railroad track, spend that kind of money, $20 million?
Well, if there's.
You really need to on Blackshear Avenue, you need to build a bridge over that thing. If you're gonna call it an eminent, well, a road is hard to build and then run up the railroad track.
Especially with the train traffic we have.
I know, and they already want to put 4 tracks out there.
yeah.
So,
That crossing is blocked.
it's blocked all the time. I mean, Blackshear Avenue that's the right way to go, but I felt like all the time that was the way would have been the best route
Right.
if we'd have put a bridge over it.
I mean, they're slowing down coming in.
Well, you were fixing
The
to have it.
trains are 3.5 miles long,
Yeah.
so it's just like if that train was just stopped there.
It'll be there.
I mean, it's the same, they're not like passing through. If they were at a good speed, a good clip, then that might not be as bad, but as they're coming in and going out, they're
They're
not
using it as
moving.
a parking rail right now is what they're using it as. They're pulling trains out on both ends of Waycross, parking them.
One's parked there, waiting for another one to come out.
But you're stopping out at Wakeholma,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
so you could, going that way, go back over, on Dorothy to Wakeholma, and still get around. And that's what you see a lot of local traffic doing, coming into town. Sheriff's need to get on that side of town. But as they're coming into town, they see that train stop at Wakeholma, they're jumping on Wakeholma and getting across the train to get over to the hospital and all those
That's what I was
big,
And-
employer areas on that side of town. And then
A lot of people's not even waiting to see if there's gonna be a train. They're just anticipating there to be a
Yeah.
train.
Correct.
So they go ahead and turn down
Once we
Waycombe.
get the overpass built, that'll eliminate that, they'll come on in straight on across, go down to T-Bow and get back to the hospital. Once the overpass is built.
With the bridge, the city would need to 3-lane Morningside around the city boulevard on out that they've attempted to do in the past to take up for all that traffic that will be coming across that bridge. And the city would be part of this whole inner perimeter also, would have to be. Because that's a problem down Morningside around the city.
Oh, yeah. That is in the city limits too, isn't it? Right there on that side.
Well, the railroad tracks ain't. Railroad tracks actually county. I learned that the hard way.
Well, the road that we turned down then to go across there would have been a good route to took, then we got rid of a lot of that traffic.
Yeah, but now you can't put a bridge over Blackshear because you got that bridge going up US 1 north and south. And isn't it gonna come down right at the intersection?
it's
Of
going to
Blackshear?
come down before the intersection.
Right before you
but
get
it's
to
gonna be,
Honeymoons.
Right there on top of it.
Pretty close to it, but
Yeah.
it'll be before you get to Blackshear.
I don't see us having 2 bridges right there together like that, or overpasses.
You couldn't afford it anyway.
Right.
We ain't in Atlanta, hardly. They got bridges on top of bridges up there.
Yeah, that's why they get lost.
I think we just delegate the money to go ahead and connect Pinehurst to Blackshear Avenue.
And just leave it a two-lane road.
And leave it a
Maybe work
two-lane
on the
road.
Intersection.
And then if the train's sitting on Blackshear Avenue, they can filter back through, come back into State Street, then cross over the overpass, and come back into Blackshear Avenue. Still gonna be better than what we
And that
had.
was the reason, I think, probably, that, the part was in the study to, make improvements to ABC Avenue. So that way you would be able to pass, you know, 2 lanes on that one road of ABC.
Well, if the railroad puts another track in there, they gonna take up ABC Avenue, just about
Yeah.
all of
Yeah.
it. You might well forget about that idea.
I think I'm sure Brandon, didn't you get a letter saying that they want 4 tracks on Albany Avenue? Did we get one, Scott?
Thought recently.
I can't remember if we did or not, but it was, I think it was mentioned in the preliminary discussions with the overpass that's out there now.
So they want 4
Or
tracks?
one that's being planned out there now.
Yeah. So even the third one, they gonna probably take ABC.
Most of it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't spend that money on ABC Avenue.
What if we came off of the railroad right of way and had plans on coming up with a solution, because we know we're gonna have to do something eventually. Come off the railroad right of way with, a right of way forward ABC Avenue project, it would not be on the railroad right of way. So if they do expand in the future, we have a roadway on our right of way that they're not gonna be able to improve on. And that way there's people can, some of those houses are gonna be locked in on. I know that's a complicated issue, but it's just something to think about. We are gonna have to do something eventually if they do 4-track that route.
If they do, the railroad can buy the houses out and tear them down. Cause they can't landlock them in there. They got to have a way for them to get in and out, especially right there between Ware Street and Blackshear Avenue. You got several houses right in there, but they gonna have to have a way in and out. Let the railroad buy them out if they wanna put 4 lanes in there. Even from Wakeona to Ware Street, you got several houses right in there. I mean, they'll have to buy out.
I think the key to this whole thing would be a perimeter road around the south side, this town,
North side.
south side. Go around the whole south, down the southwest. We ain't gonna be able to improve a whole lot of this that's already down here. Costs too much money. If we put that perimeter road around over yonder, it would, it'd solve the problem, because then Waycross would build that away. We can't go back and build this away no more. We done backed up against the river in Pierce County and Brentwood County. We can go to Maynard and Wasboro. We got plenty of land out there to go on, move on. We trying to work this thing down here, and it ain't. I mean, everything we spend, $20 million, $50 million, and ain't done nothing. We still in the same jam we've always been in.
We definitely need to come up with a solution that would pretty much be a cure-all, you know.
Then eventually, this road will go all the way around, even into Pierce County. I think that's what we should concentrate on more than is looking at the big picture. The growth for Ware County and Waycross.
All right, y'all, we need to figure out what we're gonna do.
That's how I see it. Now, how you see it, Barney? think DOT would probably help us on a perimeter road around there. Can we bring that thing up on that map where we had that perimeter road around the backside?
Brandon.
Brandon. Chairman's talking to y'all.
He's talking to him. Yeah, the south perimeter road, yeah. Can you pull it up, please? Okay.
Y'all wanna move on to our dirt paving list? While they doing that?
Let's see. We can. Let's talk about these roads. Okay, we got the Manor Wasburg connector, Hammond Road, McDonald Road to, well, actually it goes from the Valdosta Highway all the way to Wasburg through there. It's part of it. Bluff Bay, McDonald Road. And that one, we got one of those on the top of the list. And then we also have the Fig Pen Road. And we got Pascal Road to, I think we can probably do that Pascal Road with
Only issue I got with
pay what's
Pascal,
there.
isn't Pascal a private road?
Well, it is on one end of it to the cattle gap, where he's got there. It only goes in there to that, yeah, dead ends.
I'm not in favor of paving Pascal Road.
A dead end road, I'm not either, I don't think not.
So, and that's the one where,
It's
like I said, where that
where
cattle
that
gap.
curves at.
Where the
Yeah,
cattle
we
gap
need to, and
That's
I asked
private.
God about buying that, I think that they would be satisfied if we take some of that right away and cut that brush back. They have not asked for a paved road that much,
No, the biggest thing is just in that blind curve.
that blind curve.
Yeah,
And, Little John wants it.
yeah. I
Wants
mean,
that
they'd be
correct.
happy to get a paved road, but
Yeah,
right now, the main thing is that,
Yeah.
And, but, I mean, if we pave that, we couldn't pave it up to that cattle gap, right?
that's right. We can't go all the way through with it.
And then if they ever decide they wanna just shut it down, well, we can't come in from what, what is that? Wiley Road,
Right.
then we can't even,
Right. Yeah.
and they don't wanna sell that part where we go through
So-
and do it.
And,
So we need to start at the top of this list and vote on what we wanna do, like the Manor Wasburg Connect, we need to vote if we wanna do that or not do it.
I don't think we're gonna vote today, or we're
I
gonna
mean, we
fix it where
need to
we put
make
it on the list.
we need to make our list, that we need to
Yeah.
make a determination what we want on our list.
Yeah,
Well,
If we gotta have a list, present to the board.
all right, y'all, the Ammon Road, y'all wanna check it on or off?
And what that a connector now, what, that's for connecting Wiley?
Well, if you pull it up on there, I don't know if they could pull it up on the county. It can show you that McDonald Road.
That total amount gonna be what, about $7.5 million for that?
No,
For
that,
the Ammon?
I believe though that,
$7.5
Brandon, didn't he
million.
say that y'all were a little over on that estimate, on them estimates?
He agreed with this
DOT, huh?
we revised.
Y'all were high, wasn't you? Y'all were a little high on those
We
estimates.
reached out to the regional commission folks over in Valdosta to try to get some assistance with budgeting for these trips.
Right.
Because we want this to be something that they're going to be able to be okay with when we present this to those folks over with the Tier 2 program. So we reached out to the Southern Commission. and got some, input from them on what they were using on their, cost per mile.
Yeah.
And then, we went back and looked, and that really, drew the scope way down and eliminated a lot of the roads we were wanting to try to include. So, we went back and looked at a more economical option, and I presented that to, Mr. Franks over there and asked him about that, and he said that he was in agreement that that would probably be okay. So this current, list you've got is with a reduced value, a reduced
Is it?
cost on the per mile figure than we originally had based on the information we got back from, the regional folks. Yes, sir.
Okay. So this last one is right in 1.8
revised
million.
down.
Yeah, you ain't talking, it's on that little one. It's reduced
Okay,
Probably.
which one is that on?
on Ammons Road.
Okay, well, Ammons and McDonald Road, all that's got to be together for that
Well, yeah, it's
That's
one
right.
through road there. No. We could ask for a portion of it from 84 to 122. Be about, let's see, I don't, you remember how many miles that was?
From,
Ammons to,
from Miles Highway to
2
Carswell, Chairman?
It's
Yeah.
2.4.
2.73 miles
That'd be about 5.5, 5.5.
to the McDonald Road, okay. About 5 miles.
What kind of design is that you got figured in there? Is that for log trucks that's the only people gonna be out there on log trucks?
It was just a, rural section, rural roadway section with ditches and, soil cement and surface treatment, just a economical roadway section. It's
So
not beefed up for log trucks, that's just, what we've typically been using on county roadways.
A car or a pickup?
Car and pickup, yes, sir.
It won't cost that much to build that road there.
So
We
what
can
would
buy no
be to-
houses,
it's-
right away, there's no houses. There is a lot of houses, there's just 3 new ones going up there now. Ammons Road back at the other end.
This says 22 houses.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But it
300,000
connects.
per resident.
Wasboro and all of them together, that road is,
That's all the way through to Wasboro, ain't it?
yeah, it's mighty busy. Okay. You wanna put that on the list or not?
I vote no.
We don't wanna go on the, Ammons Road, then we won't take it off the list. That's what you saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
So that'd be Ammons and the McDonald.
You wanna take it off? You wanna take it off?
Yeah, the Ammons and what, the McDonald Road, both of those, McDonald.
Ammons from 84 through there, we gonna take it off or put it on? Steve says take it off.
And the reason I say take it off, we got roads that needs to be, that this guy,
You ain't got none that needs it no worse. Go ahead.
we got residential areas already that needs roads done. Blue Coodle's the roads that we need to pave right now. We got Pine Island Road, Deer Island Road, Tie Island Road, Bear Island Road subdivision's been there for 40 years. They've already got the roads already wide enough, all they do is go in and pave it. You got Pecan Road, Driggers Lane, H.O. Griffiths Road.
They ain't driving no, 5 miles to the highway there. Go ahead.
You got San Pablo, Penny Lane, June Lane, Kate, Dusty, Carmen, Dora, 2N Road, Heidi Lane. That's highly residential areas right there that we need to get paved before we go out yonder in the middle of the swamp.
Okay, we got 2 coming off. Timmy, you,
Be Ammons,
Take it off.
McDonald, and McDonald. Be 3 of them. That whole Maynard Wasboro connector.
take it off.
But I mean, let the other commissioners.
Y'all taking
vote
it
on
off now.
Let the other
You
commissioners.
taking it off in your area.
That's fine.
So I'll take it off, Mr. Chairman.
Okay,
I'll agree.
okay.
Lucas?
But 3 doesn't say to take it off. All right, Thick Pin Road, we'll take it off?
Leave that.
No, let's take it off.
I
I don't see no reason for it. You ain't gonna do the Hammond
Well,
Road,
you
I
got,
don't see no reason
you
for
got
it.
19 houses on that one road right there.
All right, Thick Pin Road. Who wants it?
Leave it. My vote.
Jimmy?
How many houses you see on that road?
19.
19.
I say leave it on there.
Yeah, that's a bad road that needs
Okay, leave it on
fixing.
there. All right? All right, Pascal Road.
I'm not in favor of Pascal because it's private.
Off.
Off.
Okay, take it off. Okay? Walker Road.
Yes.
Yes.
Everybody wants Pascal. Well, I guess you'd take every one of those streets right there. Tazewell,
That whole section.
yeah,
Gilchrist Park
Conway
paving drain.
Street, Montgomery, Cresswell. Do all of those.
I say
That's-
yes.
All of the Gilchrist Park paving drain. Want to do them, all of them, yes. Okay. What y'all say?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
all right, we'll take them. All right. Okay, now we'll go to Slash Pine Road area. Gonna do any of them?
Mine is Slash Pine Road and Wally Road. To where Wally Road ties back into Slash Pine, stop at Wally Road right there. Just start at Smith Road and go down to Slash Pine Road on Wally Road.
Commissioner Lucas.
What about Elm?
Wadley Road, yeah.
I say we need, I mean, we've already got railroad paved.
Yeah, there's one on here that you wanted to particularly leave on there. Which one is it? Banks, is that what you?
Slash
Banks
Pine.
Road, Banks Lane, because that's basically the same road. I don't know why it's got two names. but it's
I don't
basically
either,
the same
cause it
road.
goes the whole way right there, Elmer Thrift Road, to Banks Lane, all of it.
So you
And
say
it
leave it
goes
on
back to
there?
Wadley, you gotta go on all of them to go to
Yeah.
Wadley.
If we pave every one of those, the only one that's not listed here is listed on this other paper, and that's Banks Lane. Banks Lane's listed here as an end point, but it's not
It's
listed as
just a
to be
little
paved.
short.
But it's
I
just
didn't put
little-
Banks Lane on there, because we were gonna do that with the local funds of her.
Local
our
splost.
last Commission meeting, y'all wanted to go ahead and put that on the list, go ahead and try to do that. So Banks Lane is gonna be paved under a separate program.
But
Go ahead.
that'll be attached to.
The Banks
route.
Road and Elmer Thrift Road, that's two of the newest roads in the county that has been dedicated to the county. We've got roads that have been here 40-something, 50
No,
years.
that ain't been there long as Pine Island has. I was over there when they built Pine Island.
I'm talking about Elmer Thrift Road and Banks Road. Aaron Nixon gave that land to the county, what, 7 or 8 years ago? Wasn't it dedicated somewhere along there?
That road been there a long time, I don't want to move that road up.
He said that's not right.
Okay, you want all of those, or you either got to take all of them, or,
No, you don't.
I
Yeah, I
mean, if
mean,
you're gonna do them in that area, they,
Elmer
a
Thrift's.
little short road. huh?
Elmer Thrift's a washout every day. Every time we have bad rain, there's always a 2-foot washout on there.
If
We
you
don't
do-
put, if we don't do something to that road out there,
Okay, you want to vote, yeah, let's just vote on the Slash Pine Road area paving thing. Okay, you want all of those, 1, 2, 3, 4 roads.
yes, I want all those.
Leave them all 4 on?
Because don't they have a lot of
They
problems?
all
I think
tie
the last
together.
time with the Elmer Thrift Road, it was a big.
It's
thing.
right in the
Back when they had
middle
to go out
of them.
there,
It's just in the middle.
but that would something needs to be done on that one.
Whatever y'all want to do, it ain't nothing, I don't know nothing.
We got the road right away already, haven't we?
Yes.
Yeah, already the 6-foot right away
Right
there.
away out there in that overgrowth area.
It's
We already
all,
got plenty of right away.
Yeah. We got plenty of right of way on all of them.
60 or 80 right there on, I know one section, but I don't know.
So we won't have to buy no land, correct?
No. No, not have about no land. We've already got railroad paved, but that's the only thing we paved there was railroad.
just vote yes or no.
Yes.
Where
Yes,
y'all want to go?
Yeah.
yes.
Y'all want to do all those, all right? We're gonna get all those. All right, let's go down to Burrsville area paving and drainage.
That new subdivision, isn't it?
No,
It hasn't been out there long
Murphysville been
time.
there.
Burstville been there since time.
Oh, goodness.
What's the road right away out there?
30, 40 foot.
I think we have right away out there, don't we? We have right away on Burstville.
It's in Newtown.
Saltwood Street, Fourth Avenue, South Avenue, Sixth Avenue, don't we have right away out there? That we do.
Should be, they should be. I'd say do all of them.
Do all of those, all of Burstville, okay? Let's get all those in there, all right?
Came out pretty good.
Now, is there anything else you want to add?
Yes.
So you took off Ammons and the McDonald and, so you took off all of them Manor, Wasburg and that, we took all them off. Okay,
All right.
we're gonna keep the thick pin. Got that down now?
Go over to our,
And we're gonna take off the Pascal Road. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay?
But you do want us to look at getting that right away, is that correct?
enough to make it,
Let's go back to Pascal, all right? Can we buy a piece of that right away to widen that, to take that corner off? Okay, let's do that.
So we did need to try to acquire that right of way.
Acquire that right of way on that curve.
Inside radius on that turn.
Yeah, okay.
You know, we saying,
So what are y'all
get
saying?
it, but what if the property owner say he don't wanna sell it?
A
Then
lot of times, if you're paving the road, that's the benefit. So you gotta take the land, but you're paving the road.
So right now, we
When
not,
you're not paving the road, you don't have the benefit, so I don't know how they're gonna feel about that.
That's what I'm
But I'll
saying.
do whatever y'all tell me y'all want to do.
well, we need to talk to the man, see if he'd be willing to sell enough 10 foot or whatever to make that road safer.
Yes, okay, I'll do that.
Can that be, brought up to a 90-degree turn, which is really
What should be there?
what should be?
Yes, sir. Put a stop sign at the 90-degree intersection.
That would probably work better
Y'all,
right there.
You see what I'm saying? Because it's what it is. It's actually a 90-degree turn. It goes right around that man's field like that, but it's a long old curve.
We
They
might have-
fell over on him a
It's
lot.
platted that way, correct?
Is
It's
it platted that way
as
too?
90 degrees.
Is it?
Well, why can't we just make it an intersection?
If it's platted that way, then we're probably gonna have to stay with that.
I mean,
Platted as a 90 now.
Well, why can't we just put a stop sign, come up and just stop it off right there?
We'd have to change the plat then. We'd have to
No, we
change.
should have enough
That's why we
land.
platted that way.
I mean, I know what they're after, they want the bushes gone. But what if we was to buy 10 or 15 foot, cut the bushes back, what's gonna keep that man from planting red tips right by?
You're right.
Right,
And you still got a line of corner there.
Yep.
Just 10 foot further over.
yeah.
We just need to
Right.
straighten that corner out right there.
If you buy it, you need to make it either a long radius, or do like Chair was talking about, make it a hard 90, put stop signs up and make them stop.
That'll work. Let's do that. Maybe that'll.
Let's just let them look into that. Brandon, could you look into that, see which one would be the best and come back to us?
Yes, sir. I mean, you know, traffic safety, the stop condition is the safest
Yeah,
for traffic safety. But they're
Okay.
probably not gonna be, they're not gonna be for that, because they're not used to having to come and stop right there.
yeah,
Get out.
I don't think so. Ain't nobody go back there to see if they run.
Well, they either want to fix it or they don't. I mean,
they ain't gonna want that. Anyway,
Sheriff ain't gonna hang out.
No,
just look into it, see what you come up with, and come back to us with it. Okay, thank you. All right. We got those settled now. Is any to add or
They
any
are.
more to take? To add?
Go over right here,
Got
Mr.
another
Chairman.
sheet.
Yeah, but we ain't got,
Huh?
we didn't spend up all that money.
No, we ain't. We got to figure out what we're gonna do with that move.
You said you wanna go into the second phase over there. We don't. Okay, let's go back to the research. You got it down here on the Albany Avenue, Jamestown Road, and Swamp Road. Okay,
Brandon, I mean, Gene came up with a good theory yesterday on the resurfacing. This money that we got set aside for resurfacing, it might be 7 or 8 years before we had the money to do the resurfacing. Why don't we just pull that money and use our local money, SPOS money, that we got designated to spend on that? Because it might be 7 or 8 years before we can resurface these roads right here. They're ready to be tore all to pieces by then,
Pave these roads.
and pave these roads.
Well, you got them all on here. All right, let's scratch them then. Go back, let's take it. Okay. Resurfacing comes off. No.
Which sheet are we on now?
All right, now we're gonna go to the proposed projects.
Go to the proposed sheet.
Proposed
and
project,
you-
TIA
New
two,
list.
New list, okay.
on the two. Okay, Pine Island Road, Deer Island Road, Ty Island Road, and Bear Island Road.
That's a little subdivision off of Swamp Road out there that's been out there for, I know, 35 years or longer. And the road right of way's already wide enough.
Yeah, them's not that old.
You got
subdivision.
44 houses inside that 2 miles.
Okay, all for that?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
All of them for it, okay, then we'll be a go.
All right, then you got
Now,
Pecan.
Pecan Road, area paving and drainage. Pecan Road, Riggers Lane, H.O. Griffiths Road.
50 houses on that, I'd be for it.
There's 50 houses on it.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody for that.
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna do them, okay? Okay. San Pablo Lane, area paving and drainage. San Pablo Lane, Penny Street, June Street.
These little short streets, ain't the
Little
Commissioner
short
Post, I mean, they're not even a little over a tenth of a mile, little
Yeah.
streets in there.
Little short streets, people still live on.
I mean, you got almost a tenth of an acre with 2 houses on it right here.
Is these, we have right of ways on all these? Are they all wide enough or some of them got to be?
Should be.
Which one, Chairman? I'm sorry.
Is
On the
these
San
we are on
Pablo?
now, this Pecan Road, Riggers Lane,
Second page,
San Pablo, Penny Drive, Penny Street, June Street.
we got the right of way there.
Is all those,
San Pablo.
is all those right of ways
Penny Street, June
40,
Street.
50 foot?
Pecan, Driggers Lane, I know those is gonna be 30, except, which one was by the church?
Pe-
No,
Driggers, some of that, Devin dedicated extra on the church there.
Riggers Lane probably doesn't have the right of way. Does it, Michael?
part of it does,
Huh?
part of Riggers does,
Riggers Lane,
yes.
part of it?
Down there by the church does.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I would say all of these down in here, Katy Lane, Dusty Lane, Cameron Road.
Carmen,
Can we
Doris
do
Street.
On the little short streets,
Yeah, you got .26 street.
Yeah.
41 houses, yeah.
Can we do a soil cement surface
Same
treatment
grade.
road there without,
Curb and gutter.
yeah, we just do what's there?
That's kind of what is set up with this, Chairman, is the soil cement and soil treatment using that.
Surface treatment,
Yes, we're using that
Triple,
to reduce the amount
maybe
per mile, we try to make it go further.
right?
triple surface treatment,
Yes, sir.
yeah, okay. Let's just, I would be for that on all of those roads if you could, do them with, kinda like we had,
You
bid them
got,
off on surface treatment,
Yeah.
okay?
go ahead and finish up Palmetto Place, 2 End Road and Heidi Drive.
Okay? The Vandern area and all,
If y'all flip back,
do all of them?
yeah.
Okay, everybody agree to all of those roads then? Okay,
What about the Waltertown area?
Okay, we're gonna go back to your front page, Chairman.
the, Waltertown
Now,
area,
what did we say on Pine Island and Deer
Yeah,
Island?
we're gonna do all of them.
Okay.
which one? Waltertown, you talking about, yeah. They
Michael
don't-
Brooks.
Some of them, they don't want paved.
Michael's got something to say.
Woodridge,
Need to add Jeremy
Mike?
Trail, need to add Jeremy Trail to Palmetto Place if you wanna get all of it.
which one?
On Palmetto Place,
Yeah,
Jeremy
add
Trail.
Jeremy Trail, and
Down
down,
the lane or something.
down the lane, I think it is.
Allen Reason or Ridge Road.
Allen.
There's two more little lanes out there, we'll have to get everything over there.
okay, add them to that, please.
That's under that Waltertown.
Over at Palmetto Place,
Not much to it.
That's on,
little short
another
street.
place.
We do surface treatment on them.
Yes, sir.
Another sheet.
Okay.
It said,
All right. Now, Steve wants to go back over there on,
Page 1.
Watertown,
he
Yeah.
wants Watertown area paving and drainage.
That'd be the old Watertown Road from the Vandering Road to Ponsell Lane. Then from Ponsell Lane from Jamestown Road all the way to Deer Creek Lane. Wood Ridge Road, Timber Lake
Yeah.
Drive, Deer Creek Lane.
Okay, all in favor of that one?
Got 39 houses back in that subdivision.
then none of these are in that Bennett subdivision.
Well, that wasn't in the
Same
first
as
one
his.
we had, TI-3 project.
Yeah, I'm in favor of it,
Okay, do all of them?
Do all of them.
all of them.
Okay. Shoot, yeah,
All right.
that easy, we do them all.
Roberts Road, can y'all flip over to Roberts Road, Jonathan?
Robert.
1.5 miles for 2 houses.
Hold on a minute. Explain what we're talking about.
Now, you. Where you want that made at?
Hold on.
Okay.
Okay. All right, this road right here starts right here at US 1 North, where the Vanders comes in. This road needs to be paved right through here, tie into Scaffold Drive Road, because once we get this new plant right here, you're gonna have lots of people, Pierce County, Bacon County, coming off of Jamestown Road, just straight shot through here to, US 1 bypass. It's dirt road now through here. But they could take and follow the power line straight through like this right here, and save lots of money if I had to come all the way like this right here, I believe.
Probably
You know,
enough
they
of
won't
major
let you run
connector.
down the power line.
Well, we'd trade out with the timber company, this land right here for a little bit of land right beside the power line right there, right there.
That there's all in wetland. You
Where?
can't, you ain't gonna take none of that off, all this land.
That right there wetland right there.
All of it wetland.
That ain't right there.
Yes, it is too, it's unsold to the bank,
I used to break pine.
it's in the wetland bank.
Even if we have to come this route right here, it'd be worth getting this road paved. All the people that live back over in here, Pierce County, Bacon County, that'd be cut through county industrial park working.
They, what 2 houses gonna do is,
There's 2 houses right up here, Jimmy Beckham and his daughter lives right there.
and it's owned by somebody in North Carolina, ain't it?
What's that?
All that property down there.
Big timber company owns all of this right in here. It used to be Plum
I
Orchard.
don't think it's.
Plum Creek used to own this. Dan Cotton used to manage all of it.
Look up, see who's on it now, I think it's, North Carolina crowd bought it, turned it, sold it
I'd like to
to
put that
wetland
on
bank.
there. Cause on the other way, you got paved road that coming all the way back from Pebble Hill, right there, or either come all the way back by the prison. That'd be a good little paved shortcut through, right through there.
Yeah, it'd be like Damon Road, but I don't think we need to do that.
That's my vote on Roberts Road. Plus, it's a dumping site also. We rode through there the other day, there's probably 3 dump truck loads of trash out there now that people just dumped this past week.
Only 2 houses on there right now.
Yeah.
That's about all, they ain't about 2 houses on it. And all the rest of that land down through there is sold to the wetland bank. You can't nobody build on it, nothing.
We can follow the
You can't
road.
develop, you can't do nothing with it.
Can we come across there with a road in if it's wetlands?
Well, we got the road
Well, we
already.
could go through it. We can build a road through it, but all you can do is travel on it.
I mean, that's the main purpose
It
of
won't
the
be for no
traffic road.
development or nothing.
So it can't be no development in that
No,
now because
not
of
in that
that.
area, no, you ain't gonna never gain nothing off of it.
It'd
But
be
it'd
a lot
be a good
easier
shortcut.
access,
It'd be a
get
good
people
shortcut.
working.
Chairman,
That
Chairman.
property is owned by a company out of North Carolina.
North Carolina is sold to a wetland bank.
37.
They bought that land just to, so they could develop up in North Carolina, so they could sell to the wetland bank, the government. They traded it off, they had some more land, a lot more valuable up there.
Yeah.
It's listed as.
They worked up in Cole County.
you may see a decrease in what they designate as wetlands in the future, and so the Supreme Court's going to.
This is marked as woodland.
Yeah.
All wetlands,
Easement and wetlands.
Do yourself some wetlands.
what we call wetlands.
Yeah, there's been a push to deregulate a lot of that, but it's probably gonna be after if the federal administration changes, typically. Especially at the EPA level.
Right.
So Steve, the only reason he's saying that, just give a
Easy
Sure.
access.
It's a shortcut, be a shortcut.
for the new plant.
How far is it?
Mile and a half.
Mile and a half.
1.5 miles. Surface treatment.
Yeah. Whatever the best way you got. We should have enough right of way already, I think. Even if we followed the blueprint that's there now.
I mean, that,
So we come out, what, about 1.6 million, or 7 on that?
no, it's 845,000, but, well, 1.2 million.
We're gonna do that, then we go,
Yeah, that's 800, what is that, 600,000 per resident?
we got 26 houses down at Griffin Road. Did we get 1 mile of it? Surface treatment.
Where's that at?
Ain't got it on here. We adding. It probably needs it worse than anybody in
How many houses on it?
There's about 20 houses down that, 25 houses down the Griffin Road.
In a mile?
No, it's 5 miles down it. We just won't get 1 mile of it paved. We need it worse than the dead man needs a coffin. We sure do.
Yeah, by law, you don't have to put them in a coffin. But my vote's for Robert's Road.
I vote with Steve. I
That's-
think it would be a major connector ended up with that factory. But,
All right, got 2 for it.
That's $600,000 per resident. I can't
I
justify
mean, you
that.
can't base it per resident.
I know
You
it.
base it by for people that traveling the road.
Jimmy
I'm
Bear
basing it
he
off
don't-
of residents that live in that area, to get closer to the city and then pave out. Don't go out there to pave in, you come in here to pave out.
Yeah.
That's
We,
what I wanna do. I wanna work the
Look
paving
at
out,
what's coming in.
you know?
2-1.
Leonard, you got a vote?
I kind of leaning toward like what Tim is talking about, there's a number of residences there, and I know it's maybe a good project, but, you know,
I ain't never seen that much traffic on that road.
Yeah.
I don't never see no traffic on that.
I can't
You go over on
justify
that Hammond Road,
$600,000.
you get run over
per
over there.
resident.
And we can't pave
I
it.
mean, when you 42,000 or you're,
I've been all that there, there ain't nothing out there.
you know, 98,000 per, I mean, but come on now, 600,000 per resident?
200.
Look at corner Z whenever they paved it all the way through. You take the Waresburg to Waycross, you might have 5 houses on corner Z. They didn't base it on that, they didn't base it on the amount of traffic that's gonna be going up and down the road.
That's what I did on Hammond Road, but you
But we
didn't
ain't
want
got no
it.
way to judge that traffic yet. We're just assuming that it's gonna have that much traffic.
All right, we got, how many no's?
I'm gonna have
Two,
to vote no on that one,
3,
Steve.
3 no's, okay. Time to go. All right, we're going
Can't
to the
win
next
them
one.
all, can't win them all.
Okay,
Adjourn, did you not?
any more?
Because I'm about to have something for the meeting.
Let's add the Griffin Road to it then, see how many voted on it.
No.
1 mile of the Griffin
I mean,
Road.
for next
No,
week, next
because
week.
there's no residents on that mile.
How many, Timmy? You vote yes on 1 mile on the Griffin Road?
Is it 500,000-600,000 per resident?
Yeah,
Then I vote
No, there's 26 houses down there.
but in that mile, how many houses are on
7
that mile?
miles is how far it is.
From that mile, how many houses are on
13 at
that?
the end of the 1 mile.
But you, if you're gonna do that, go back down to Vander and all the people lives back down there, it's gonna be
We
trouble.
can't count them. They don't live on it. They ain't none of them.
Yeah, where's that on here? I mean, I'm
That's over in,
talking about on the list.
no, it ain't on here, but he's,
Gonna bring up that list.
it's one that we tried to get way back.
Is it 500-600,000?
Griffin
Where's
Road,
Griffin Road at?
and it's right here in Ruskin.
No,
But
Goes up to old man Johnny Crum.
that's,
Him and Tom, both of them was in World War II, got captured over there, and their places
you
is
got the
right
city
there.
right here. Out. I vote
All
no.
right, move on, whatever we're gonna do.
That's how I look at it.
Vote no then. Okay, move on.
I have a question for the manager. Scott,
So,
we've used these two sheets, and y'all will consolidate these two to match the money that we're expected to get?
that's correct, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
We go on there and resurfacing now. You got the Johnny Bench U, Telmore Dick Union, Lovett Road, Aycock Road,
I thought we done said no to them, didn't
man,
we? We done said no to them, didn't we?
yeah, but that was on the other list. But we're gonna say no
This
to this
is
list.
a different list here, this is for long-term.
This is, something Steve wants.
Long-term,
What you want? No or yes?
yes, on these. I mean, this stuff's gonna be done probably 5 or 6 years from now.
I vote no. We ain't got the money.
Which one? That's on,
That's on the bottom of that list, that resurfacing. And then there on TIA 2, proposed project.
on that old Watertown Road, Poncell, and Wood Ridge Road.
No, Johnny Bench U, Telmore Dick Union,
Get
Lovett
that.
Road.
Oh, that's on
Chairman.
that big sheet?
Chairman.
Right here.
Okay.
And that's just resurfacing there.
Right here.
What you think?
This is something Steve
Some of
was
this
on.
stuff 5 or 6 years from now to be done, it ain't gonna be done in the next 5 years, 'cause we gonna have to wait on the money.
We have to wait on the
do
money
it
to be
with.
accumulated for it.
This is long-term.
We gotta wait on the money on all of them,
I know.
every one of them. This is a wish list,
Oh, just a wish list?
all of it.
I don't wish for nothing.
You bad shape.
Vote no,
Yes,
What are we voting on?
that bottom one down there,
Resurfacing.
to put that on the list, there. at the
this is
bottom
a
of where you at
long-term
there.
resurfacing list.
So that's to be in,
See the bottom, Johnny Bench U,
yeah,
that's
Okay.
resurfacing.
That's on the new sheet.
and that's gonna be to submit, not what is what we doing right now on the
$7 million.
14th, right? On the list that we getting up, you know, the research and all,
Uh-huh.
that's not included on that list, is it?
Oh, no, sir.
We ain't getting there today, so
Okay.
take it on.
You're basically looking at this list or these projects won't start collection until about another almost 2.5 years.
Two and a half,
Because
3
it'll
years.
run out, they're expecting sometime in 2026. And then they'll set the schedule up with band 1, band 2, and band 3. Band 1's 3 years, band 2's 3, or a little over 3 years. And it's kind of like 3, 3, and 3. And they'll set this up based on what other counties and cities have, and they'll kind of shuffle the deck and space it out. So some of these projects might not be done for another 10 years.
Yeah.
But at least we'll
But if
have the
we don't-
money set aside to do it with.
That's correct, yeah.
And
If
if we
it
don't,
passes.
if we don't turn in a list, then they don't know how much money to allot us.
We don't get anything.
So
Basically.
we gotta turn in a list.
Yeah.
Put them all on the list if it's 10 years away. We need as many on there as we can get the most money.
That's why, one of the things is like for resurfacing, you know, there's some roads out there that can't last another 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years.
Right.
So you want to try to figure out how to do that with local money to get those done within the next few years, rather than having to wait so long.
That's why we pulled the other resurfacing off.
Right.
Because it needs to be done within the next 2 or 3 years. Go ahead and pay for it with local money.
Correct.
But these right here is down the road projects. It's
Right.
going to have to be done another 5 or 6, 7 years,
Yes.
8 years.
Then I say we need to keep the list as broad as it can be.
But I mean, there's only so much
All
money.
right,
you can
let's
have.
get it down to the budget now. Y'all gonna vote for it?
Yes,
That means
What are we,
resurfacing
voting to put
list,
it on the list.
resurfacing.
You gonna
Gonna
put
be
it on
down
the
the
list?
road.
yes, I guess so, yeah.
All right, let's put them all on there, resurfacing. Okay, accept them,
That should do it.
okay? You got all of them?
Yep.
Look like it.
You think?
Now, what about that, they had it up there a while ago? Did everybody look at the perimeter road in the back?
Now, over here on
South side?
Pine Lane, of course, with this question.
Okay with that now?
Okay,
Gene, Brandon, how much money have we got left now to set aside for the inner perimeter road, or whatever we're gonna do with it?
It might take a little bit,
The second sheet we just went through, that has the, Walkertown, Roberts, and, Pine Island, and all those on it. All of those were approved except for
Roberts Road.
Roberts.
Right, that's 1.6 million.
So the total value of those projects is 17.3 million. So you could back out Roberts Road, which is 1.7.
About 16 million.
17.3, and that should be pretty close to where, what would that be, around 16?
16. Little
So
over 16.
then you add the resurfacing is 7.7 to that, and that's what, 23 million? And then Scott said we were having 25 million allocated to us, so that leaves us $2 million. Rough numbers. Don't hold me to any of that.
Then I say
We could take $2 million and join Sunnyside and Blackshear and all of that together, probably. Easier.
And here again too, I mean, you could throw just a little bit of local money in there with it to, to speed it along.
Sound good to me. Timmy's people might not like it too good.
Why not?
These two sheets are consolidated and given to the board roundtable. That doesn't mean that if something comes up that we can't pull some of these off and do it locally, correct? Or do you need to stay on there forever? Once they're approved?
That I don't know. I do know that they sometimes will move projects within the bands, from band to band, based on where funding is at the time. But as far as taking stuff off and trying to replace, I'm not sure of that.
In some of the other areas, their funding fell short of what was originally estimated. Some of the other regions,
Right.
the southern region, it far exceeded what they originally estimated. So they were able to do all the projects on the southern region because the money came in larger than expected. If it goes the other way, the money would come in less than what they're projecting, then you're going to have a shortfall in funding, and then your projects would probably fall off. And I'm guessing it will be based on however we prioritize these projects when the list is submitted to.
If it's a shortfall, they would reduce all counties' allocation, right?
Yes, sir.
To some degree.
To whatever percentage they were given.
Okay.
is that all on that? Okay, I wanna find out, I've had some calls about the, new bridge that we're building. I wanna go over to that a minute. Why is that dog leg in that bridge? Dog leg in that road before you get to that bridge? That's gonna.
It's about Tanner Bridge.
Town.
Which one's
Over Kittle Creek. Why is
Jamestown?
that, why is that dog leg in that bridge like that?
Chairman, if you're coming down off of Tanner Lane, the alignment lines up with the property lines there between the two residents there, Mr. Rainwater and Mr. Tanner. So they come down the property line, went between the ponds that are there, and then you have to line it back up with wind clay on the other side. There's also the AT&T easement that was there, that was already in existence. And one of the requirements they put on us and allowing us, because they already had that permanent easement there, was to stay off of, with the pavement section, their line that is sometimes used. I think it's more or less a backup fiber optic line. I don't think it's used unless there's an emergency type of situation, but that was one of the requirements that they put in. So looking behind you, you see how Win Clay, the angle on Win Clay is more due north, but the angle on Tanner Lane and the creek crossing is coming off at an angle to that. So it jogs over to try to more align with Win Clay on the other side of the creek.
So how are y'all gonna correct that coming off the bridge if you're heading north on Winclay? When you cross the bridge, then you're gonna have like a real turn back to stay on the road.
That's, with all of the things that we're trying to miss in there with the ponds, the property line where the road and the fiber optic lines, that, you know, it caused there to be you come down between the ponds, then you have to get back over to line up with Win Clay. That was the reason for.
But they'll have guardrails from the bridge all the way down past the pond, won't they?
I'll have to go back and look at the plans and see what the guardrails are. I'm sorry, I'm not sure about that part.
The only way to line that up would be to move over to that pond that's the furthest east and take in a good portion of that pond. I mean, I think you'd have to move over a good 30, 40 feet to make it line up with Win Clay.
I thought the crook's up there, a little, it's not at the pond though.
Yeah, it's
It's
right
just
there,
past,
right
just
come
past
off
the
the bridge.
pond.
It's up there by that other
Right there,
road.
right there.
You jog
It's just
between-
past, you go between the ponds and then you have to jog over to align with Win Clay on the other side.
But if we moved the force main and the cable, then we could straighten it out.
You would have to go through the pond like Scott's talking about with the way the Win Clay goes from this side of the roadway.
Tanner Lane would basically, the north part of the creek, Tanner Lane would have to shift to the right at least 40 feet, I'm pretty sure, at least that far. And you would be taking up probably almost 1/3 of that pond on the right. And that's why, they were trying to do it as a less impact on the property owner.
He's already mad that it's going much less.
Yeah, we wanted to sell it for $300,000.
Why can't we move the AT&T line and the force main? That's what I was told by the surveyor.
Too late.
I don't know if AT&T would go with that.
It ain't, the road ain't paved over. All we need to do is move the force main and cable over. And straighten it up. That's a bad crook in that road.
You're gonna have to take out the pond to do what you're talking about. You're gonna have to go onto the rainwater property and take out about half his pond, and he would be a total buyout.
Can you show what's out there right now? You got
Have
an
you got an aerial?
area of what's there other than that? You got a close one?
We'll just load it right out.
That's a bad crook in that road. Y'all hadn't saw it?
Yeah, I've been to the bridge. Yeah.
What's the big deal?
I went around, man, somebody run off in that damn creek right there.
Personally, I don't see a big deal. There's not gonna be a limited number of traffic on there. You know, it's the whole purpose.
It'll have guardrails right there where the creek is too, won't it, Brandon? It should
I'll check
have.
on that about the guardrail, I'm not sure what's on the plans.
If it don't, we can put some up.
If not, we can put some up, you are correct, yes, sir.
Which ones are coming in
I
on?
don't know who designed that,
Move
but
that
I
map up a
wouldn't
little
have
bit.
designed it like that. Not no dog leg in it like that, I didn't know we approved
Which one is
that.
coming in? Is it coming in on the one on the, by Google, or is it the other one?
Have you been over there, Mr. Burson?
By Google?
Last time I went out there, they hadn't got that far with it, but you talking about where it's running by the pond over there?
No, when it comes up towards the land up there, up towards,
That's not gonna be a bad,
right line.
You talking about there?
Big ass curve.
Somebody there,
Over by the ponds.
about Town Lane up there.
Okay. Somebody said, y'all gonna leave it like that? I said, I don't know. I wouldn't think so.
I got the same
I went down there and looked
man,
at
same man that called me, called you.
Yeah.
where's the crook at they talking about? I
I
don't see,
said, I said, we're
Between
right
the
out
creek
there.
and the ponds, where the curve is, between the creek and the ponds, between Kettle Creek
And where the two ponds are.
Guardrails can eliminate that
Like a
problem.
little
Yeah,
S.
like,
It's asked her,
Well, that'll just slow them down.
hopefully.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be. That'll be
All
kind
right,
What is-
any more? Anybody got anything else they want to talk about?
Talk about being Christmas time, so much Christmas ain't.
Huh? Anything? All right. We, gonna carry this over to the list,
Yes, sir. We'll
put it on the agenda for,
compile the list and recalculate the amounts, and we'll send that out to you. Yes, sir.
and then we'll.
Yeah.
So we'll vote on it?
We'll carry it to the, region.
Yes,
That's the way
sir.
it works.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We have and if you want to, I mean, we can, because it's next Monday, we can compile the list, recreate it based on the decision this morning, and then put it on the agenda for Monday to do a final vote, if you want to do it that way.
Okay, we ain't
But, I
gonna
mean, we
vote
can go
on
with what you
today.
got, we can go with what you have, but
Right,
it's up to you all.
all right.
So we need to make determination, money that's left over, or we gonna put that on the inner perimeter, don't we?
Well, that's what we will do, is whatever's left, put it on that, and then let y'all take a look at it again to see if you want to make any final adjustments whatsoever. That way it gives you more of a chance to look at it and then look at it again.
Okay. So we ain't gonna vote on it today, we're gonna carry it over to the.
Yes, sir, we can basically do that and just compile what we got. And that's kind of what this was more of a workshop to kind of talk about the projects and stuff.
All right, any more discussion on it? Everybody settled with it? Everybody please.
I was gonna mention something toward the end before y'all adjourn. On the swimming pool issue for Bay Street, I was able to find out that the city police department does have off-duty if the commission wants to move in that direction. They did tell me that, the city did tell me that they didn't have the funds for half of the security, and I didn't know if you wanted to make up that difference. It's altogether about 10,000 for the whole time.
I got a question.
It'll actually be a little less, because they won't be in operation as much, because we're cutting off about 2 weeks of it.
I got a question on that,
So-
Mr. County Manager. The city just got a $1.2 million grant awarded to them from the grant money that Governor Kent put out, for parks, for improvements at parks.
Yes, sir.
That just kind of baffles me. They say they ain't got no money, and they just got a $1.2 million grant. I mean, everybody in the state sees what they got. You know, I mean, that just kind of, every time we turn around, it's like the city saying they ain't got no money. We gave them an extra 2% last year.
And also, Timmy, you know, the grant amount, and I was gonna send you a text, you sent me one, it's not 1.2, it's 2.2, I believe it is.
Oh, it's over 2.
2.2.
So I'm calling it 1.2, so they got
Right.
$1 million more.
And, you know,
And we didn't get anything for the park stuff, did we?
No, sir, we
No.
applied.
no, they got it, and it's earmarked for recreation, you know, especially in, I guess,
Low-
low-income areas or whatever.
Right.
But my passion, you know, I think everyone knows my passion, I really want the pool to be open, you know, for the kids over there. And, everything is set to go, and at the last minute, they said about the security, so I talked with the manager, and, you know, I would hate to go that route, but you know, we have money earmarked for a certain event next month. And if we can't get the monies for the, pool, you know, for the security, we may have to, let the commission, you know, votes that way or goes that way to use some of that money towards security.
So that was the money we obligated to them pay for their fireworks show, when they didn't wanna go with us?
Well, I just said something for next month that we had earmarked money for, yeah.
I'm kind of like Commissioner Burse on that. I agree totally with itemize the Devil's Playground, and we need to give them kids something to do during the day.
And I think, I would hope that we can go on, give the green light to the Ware, Scott, to go and get the pool over and get it, because we do have our portion. We knew we were gonna have to pay for a portion of it.
Sure.
Security, but then on the tail end, if they can't
If they
see the
can't do it,
need, then we may have to do that. I wouldn't wanna do that, but you know, we're kind of backed into a corner right now.
Well, we could always readjust when it's time to negotiate with them
Yeah.
and just stick on the percentages and not
Yeah.
give no extra.
Well, go ahead and pay for security this year.
And extra.
Next year, since they get $2.5 million, turn the pool over to them, let them have it, and Memorial Park. They gonna have $2 million to spend on them parks and stuff.
Well, and not only those two parks, you got, I think, what, Monroe Park, I don't know if
Graham Street
Monroe is
Park.
including that, and,
I mean, just
what's the one over here on Mary Street?
Mary Street.
Parnell,
Parnell Roberts Park.
I mean, let them have Memorial Park back. We just move all our operations to the rec department and be through with it. We'll be under one shelter. City can take the $2.5 million, do whatever they want to.
Well, I don't know if it'll be that easy, because, you know, the county years ago basically took over recreation, you know, that was something that was a vote by the commission at that time, that the county would take over in exchange, I think, for
The
doing the
Humane
loss
Society.
negotiation, that they would take over certain things.
Think we
They gave up 2.5% of their,
found out that they didn't follow through, but that's another discussion, but I'll agree with Commissioner Burris on the pool, should be open.
yeah. I think we
And
need to
use
go
the
and do
money we
that.
were obligating for the other activities,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
this
too.
year only.
This year on. I
This
agree
is
with
the
that.
last time.
But they gotta find out the YMCA's gonna do it. They might already,
Yeah,
they gotta hire people to do it.
Because it should have been open last week, really.
Right.
Well, my part on that, I don't care nothing about no pools. You can fill them all up and put a pot plant in them, as far as I'm concerned.
Everybody needs a pool.
Yeah. I read in the Bible where he said that all men were called to work, but they chose to play, and that's playing in my book.
Come on, Chairman, come on now. We talking about the young people now.
I got an acre pool in my front yard, I swim in.
Okay, any more?
I don't.
Yeah, nobody got anything from the floor, anybody need? James, you got anything?
Nobody need nothing? Don't need
I hear a
nothing?
motion to adjourn.
I make
moved,
so
Mr.
moved,
Chair.
Mr. Chair.
Wait a minute. You have
You
something?
got something?
I said so
You
moved,
have
Mr.
something?
Chair.
Has the Republican Party turned in any nominations to fill Danny's spot on the election board yet?
I know the Democrat did, I can't remember for,
They're having their meeting.
He's the appointed chairman.
yeah.
He's the
I
chairman.
don't think they
he's
have yet.
appointed chairman, so we'll have to have another member then.
Yeah.
I don't believe the Republican Party has yet.
We'll have to do that.
So we got to do it by July the 1st, haven't we, Danny?
Yeah.
It's coming.
And
It'll
the
be this
Republican
week.
Party met last night, and I guess Deborah will be turning in some names pretty quickly.
She'll turn it in this week, she said.
We'll
What's
think about
the-
that then on the, come up at the meeting. All right.
What's the ratio right now?
We have a motion to adjourn.
So
No,
moved.
Yeah,
You
you say, what, you asked Timmy, what was it?
What's the ratio on the
3-1.
3-1?
Yeah,
And does that don't include the chairman?
Is that on
no,
the
that's,
Democrat and Republican?
no,
Yeah.
3
3 Republican,
Party
1 Democrat.
and 1 Democrat
Right now.
right now.
The Democratic Party has turned in names?
Yes, sir, 4 names.
They got 4.
Yeah, I think we need to leave that
Okay.
50-50.
We can deal with that Monday, next week, can't we?
When
Yeah.
12
Yeah, we can deal with that Monday.
in the regular meeting.
Sure.
All right, I have a motion. I have a second.
Second.
Motion second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Wait a minute now.